Good morning, good morning. I hope that y'all had a good evening, and tell you a little bit about Pillar to Post who doesn't know anything about Pillar to Post and why we feel our inspections are a little more enhanced than our competitors' inspections. But I'll tell you a little bit about me first. In 1993 in Atlanta, Georgia, I opened a home inspection company called Architectural Inspectors. I did it for 2 or 3 years, realized I couldn't make any money back in those days just because nobody really wanted to pay for a home inspection back then. It wasn't needed like they are today. Even though they were needed, nobody wanted to do it. So I got out of the business and went into the remodel business and was in the remodel business for almost 30 years. So about 4 or 5 years ago, I was buying a home, and Pillar to Post came and inspected my home. And the Pillar to Post gentleman that inspected my home, we became very, very close friends. So then his wife and his grandkids moved to Connecticut, and they gave him an ultimatum: if you want to see your wife and your grandkids, you got to move to Connecticut. So he wanted to sell it, so I bought it. So I'm going on my 4th year as far as a Pillar to Post home inspection franchise owner, and I love every second of it. A little bit about Pillar to Post. Actually, Pillar to Post was started in 1993, and in 1993, well, advanced to that, past 1993, we have made unbelievable progress in the home inspection type technology. We do things different when we go do an inspection than anyone else, and we'll definitely go over all of that. But one thing is that we carry, and in your brochures you'll all have this, but we carry 3 different inspection packages. You say, well, most people have 3 different types of inspection packages, or some people have 2 different types of inspection packages, or so forth. But ours is a little different. One thing that we do, even on our Plus program, which is our starter inspection package, and we say starter, but it is a full 100% inspection. We do the roof, we do the crawl space, we do the attics, we check all of the electrical, we check all the ACs. I mean, everything is thorough. But one thing you get in this package that I don't think anyone else can do is anytime that on our summary page, on what we tell you what's wrong with the home, we price it. We let you know what it's going to cost you to fix that problem. Let's just say for instance, we determine that it's a possibility that you're going to need a new roof eventually. So the way that we price that new roof is we would price it per square, and then you'd have to figure out the square. So when we're taking pictures, we're not up there measuring the roof to determine exactly what the roof would cost, but we price it per square. Same way if sheetrock damage or whatever inside the house, or rot wood on the side of the house, we price that per linear foot or per square foot. So that's kind of how you get priced. But the beauty about it is, if you have a GFCI that's bad, we price that, completely replace how much it would cost. If you have an expansion tank that's bad, or don't have an expansion tank on a hot water heater, we give you that price. So it's pretty easy to understand. One other thing we do, and I wish we could see the video, but we can't get the video to come up, so I know they're going to email all of y'all the video, but we also do what we call the PTP 360. And PTP 360 is we take 360-degree photos inside the house and outside the house. We can even take them in the attic. We take them sometimes if we can get it into the crawl space and take them. And I'll tell you what's the beauty of that. So I'll kind of give you an example. Another one of the open houses we did, or lunch and learns that we did with a realtor, she said, Dan, y'all saved my behind by taking those 360-degree photos. And so, what do you mean? How did we save you? And she said, well, I showed this house, the people bought it. We come back in to close it after you've done the inspection. We come in at the end of the month to close the house. We walked in, and it looked like the lights had been changed. And the seller said, no, we didn't change no lights. This is the original lights when we left the house. Okay, so we pulled all the 360-degree photos. They changed all the chandeliers, all the light fixtures in the home. So they did change it. So we're protecting you by taking those 360-degree photos. When you go up to our next plan past the Plus package, we go into what we call our premium package. Our premium package by far is our most I can't even think this morning. It's our most
Comprehensive?
Comprehensive, but it's most popular by far that people take it. What it does that the Plus package does not do is we do an IR scan. If y'all if you understand what an infrared scope is, we do IR scans on all the outlets. We do it on all the water outlets in the house. We do it in the ceilings and so forth to make sure we don't have leaks. It will detect leaks. It'll detect heat that we can let you know right off the bat if there's a problem there. But the next thing we do also is, and you'll look in the brochures you have, is it has a floor plan. So we measure every square inch of that house and give you a measured floor plan in the premium package. The beauty about this is you can either do it if you want to. Some people don't want all the measurements on it. We can do it without the measurements on it if they just want a floor plan. If you want all the measurements on it, we can do that. We do it a lot for on pre-inspections that you may want to put all the 360 photos in the floor plan on your listing. We do all of that. So this is something that people really love, especially if you're selling a house to someone from, especially a condo down here, if you're selling to somebody in New York or that's never even seen it, to be able to have the floor plan on the way it looks and the 360-degree photos, it's like they were there but not being there. So also in this premium package, you're going to get what we call recall check. So what we do is we go around to all of your appliances in your home, and even your air conditioning units and different things that have code bars and serial numbers, and we send all of these serial numbers and photos to a company called Centric, which is an affiliate of ours, and then they do a recall on anything, or let you know if there's a recall on any of your appliances. Not only are they not going to do a recall at that moment, they're going to do a recall for as long as you own that house. So if there's a recall comes out and they got it listed that you have this appliance, they're going to send it to you saying, hey, there's been a recall on your unit. The beauty about them, they're also even will let you know if you have a water filter in your refrigerator that's going bad, they'll show you exactly where you can buy that water filter and what the part number is on that water filter. They do all that by the serial number and the code bar on that unit. So it's really gets in depth when you do that. One thing I'll show you is that I was telling you about where we price everything. So if you'll notice this sheet, okay? So this sheet is basically just a front copy of a house that we have inspected. And then the next page would be the summary page in which that house, what we found was wrong with it, okay? Once we send this to our punch list people, you would get this page back the next day, priced out on everything that was wrong with it. Okay? That's the beauty. Now you'll say, hey, I don't want my customer to have that. Okay, well, it's not a problem. We can take that off. It doesn't matter. But you would get this automatically priced with it, introducing the punch list. You'll get the punch list and the 360 on every plan. Just remember that. You get it on every plan. One thing that people don't realize that Pillar Close does is that some people ask us, well, how long does it take me to get my report? Well, how about if I said immediately? I mean, when I say immediately, I mean immediately. We take printers with us on every job, and we print out the report and put it in a binder just like this. You'll get this binder, and it goes through and it shows the home inspection report in detail. The first couple of pages are going to show the summary. And then after the summary, it's going to go into a full in-depth inspection report showing everything about the house, whether we found anything wrong with it or not. But you'll have always that summary page that's able to be priced of the items that you may have found wrong. The beauty about this book, and one of the reasons that we really like this book, and one of the reasons most of our realtors love this book, is if you go to the back of the book too, it has a place where they actually can put how much they purchased the house for. Then they can go into it and say, here are my home improvements, this is what it cost me. They keep up with the receipts. They can put your property taxes down every year on what it is. And then all their electric and gas and water costs. The beauty about that, we have extra slots in the front and the back of the book. You can put your information in that also. You can put your business card along with it. They have this as long as they own the house, and what a beautiful selling tool when they go to sell it. Because now you're handing this book to the new buyer, hopefully, and whose card's in it? Yours, mine, everybody, and they know everything that's going on with the house. So this is printed on every single job site, every single one.
Regardless of the package?
Regardless of the package, does not matter. The beauty about too, we will immediately email it to you also. You'll get an email, you'll get a copy of it if you're the buying agent. If you're a selling agent, you'll get confirmation that it was done, but you will not get the copy unless the buying or the buyer itself releases it to you. But when you get the email, it's going to come up and it's going to show you a place that you can hit report. It's going to go through the report itself, and it's a place that you can go in and hit your PTP estimates, and then it's going to want your email address so they can send it to you, and you'll have that within 24 hours. And then if you want the floor plan, there's a place to hit that, and that's guaranteed within 48 hours. So you have every bit of that within 48 hours after the inspection's done. Guaranteed 100%. We feel there's almost no one that does that in the industry except us. And y'all tell me, I mean, I'm sure you all have the inspectors that you use. Does anyone do the in-depth as we do on those particular ones? They really don't. So our technology has just come so far. I mean, as you know, I mean, I remember years and years ago, I was putting in countertops in Atlanta, Georgia, in my remodel business, and we would go in and do a template with sticks, and we glue the sticks together, and then we take those glued sticks to the factory. They would cut out our granite based on those sticks. Oh, that shows how old I am. They don't do that anymore. It's all laser. So all of our stuff is now laser. We set up a camera right in the middle of the room, and it lasers all the way from the top of the ceiling. So you say, hey, how do you measure the inside of that house if you got it's full of furniture? Well, it's all done from the ceiling. It's not done from the base. So we go into each room. It is pretty remarkable. So we even had Real Estate Magazine wrote about us. It's called Revolutionize the Home Inspection. And that's basically what we've done. So the last program that I'll talk to you a little bit about is our Prestige program. And you say, okay, well, this is our third one. So the Prestige is going to come definitely with what's number one, everything in the Plus program. Then it's going to come with everything in the Premium program. And then last, it's going to come everything in the Prestige package is what it's going to add is in the air quality control. So we take an air quality and go into each room of the house, and we set up air pods inside that house. And then we suck it in with a machine, sucks the air out of that room into a little pod. We seal that pod off, and then we FedEx it overnight to our lab in New Jersey. The lab looks at it, and it gives us a report the next day and lets us know if there's mold, if there's dog dander, if anything's living in that house that we can't see with the naked eye. You can also do your air quality test, even with the Plus if you want to. If you only want the air quality test with the Plus, you can do that. If you got someone that thinks they have mold and they only want to do an air quality test and no other inspection, we can do that. We do a lot of mold testing. I mean a lot. And this is the best way to do it. So usually there's two mold testings that you can do. You can do what they call a swab. So basically, if I see a dark substance on this wall, I can do a swab on this, FedEx that swab, they'll tell me if that's mold. But how about if that has not come through yet? If I don't see it, that's when you do an air quality test. It will pull those pores out, and that's what we determine if there's mold actually in the house. Any questions on that at all?
Pricing.
Okay. So one thing you'll see on our thing, we are price match guarantee company. So if they're going to do the same thing we're going to do, it's going to be the exact same price that they're going to do it. But to say that, our least expensive price is going to run, we start out at about $300 a condo or a unit. That's usually what the units down here go. I can tell you about a 2,000 square foot home, standard 2,000 square foot home, is going to cost you about $400. So we're not outrageous at all. Matter of fact, if you go onto our website, it'll show you, many people will say, man, I called them, I called 2 or 3 other people, and we weren't the lowest, but we're not the highest. We're kind of in the middle. So we kind of fit to where we need to be. Now, another good thing is, too, that we have discounts. If you have customers that are brand new homeowners, first-time home buyers, military people, first responders, we give discounts to every one of those. So that'd be on top of that. Something else we do, you can email us or text us the information for your customer. We answer the phone 7 days a week from 8 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. We also do inspections from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. We have a guarantee in our company that we can do your inspection within 24 hours, guaranteed, or it's free, 100%. Yes, ma'am.
How many inspectors do you have?
We have 3. Yeah, we have 3. So that basically means we can do about 9 a day, and that's a lot, you know, and that's pushing it, especially in good day times. It's easy. I'm doing a condo down here this afternoon, and the inspector don't start till 4:30. So doing a condo is much easier to do as the dark comes. It's a little more difficult today. But as I told you, the inspection is scheduled 24 hours. It's free. So many people will call us and say, I can't believe you answered the phone. So, well, I mean, you're working 7 days a week, right? Why don't we work 7 days? And it's not too much to answer that phone and to schedule an inspection. And we got guys that are just jumping at the bit to get out there to inspect. Got to have some questions here. I mean, got some questions anywhere? You see, yes, sir.
You were talking about the mold test. Do I understand you say that the air quality test is actually a better test than the swab?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. The beauty about the air quality test is it's going to test the whole air all the way in that room that we're doing it at. A swab's only going to test that one spot. Okay. A lot of people
There's
have
mold everywhere.
That's right.
It's how the mold in that compares to the ambient mold.
That's exactly.
Whether you're dealing with an unacceptable condition or not. So,
A lot of the mold too that you come up with is, believe it or not, it's in your air handler. So especially in older homes, especially if that air handler's in the attic. Oh my gosh, I hate it when they're in the attic. But they're in the attic. That's all they do is they sweat and they grow and they get moisture and it's hot and then mold grows. Well, what happens when it's in there? I mean, so what blows through that? All the air that's blowing into your home is coming out right from that. So we highly suggest, to make sure those are clean.
now, we got a bunch to cover today, so
Yeah, absolutely.
we got a whole market report. We try to get these people out of here by 9 o'clock. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody has anything else remaining? I think it's been very informative. You certainly differentiate yourself from the competition.
Right. No, I appreciate it. Appreciate the time. And one thing we would like to do is we're going to pass this little box around and throw your business card in it. We're actually going to give away a hurricane survival kit, a one-person hurricane survival kit, and then also we're going to give away a free VOH. And the VOH is the virtual open house that we'll do for your listing for free.
They can write the name on smiles.